Have you ever wondered why two people can go through the exact same situation but experience it in completely different ways? One sees challenges, the other sees opportunities. One feels frustrated, the other remains calm. One struggles, the other thrives. It's not because one is luckier than the other. It's because the world we see is not an absolute reality. It is a reflection of our own mind. Your mind shapes the world you see. The world around us is the same for everyone. But the way we perceive it depends on our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. Have you ever had a day when everything felt perfect? The sun seemed to shine brighter, people were kinder, things just fell into place. And then, on another day, nothing changed, yet everything felt difficult. People seemed rude. Small inconveniences felt overwhelming, and even the sound of birds chirping annoyed you. The world didn't change. Your inner state did. The Buddha once said, "All experiences are led by the mind, created by the mind." This means that our happiness or suffering does not come from the world itself, but from how we interpret it. Why do some people suffer more than others? We often believe our happiness depends on external things. Having more money, finding the right partner, or achieving success. But if that were true, then every rich person would be happy. Every successful person would feel fulfilled. Every person in love would be at peace. Yet, we see wealthy people who are miserable, celebrities who struggle with depression, and people in loving relationships who still feel lonely. At the same time, there are people who have little but radiate joy. What makes the difference? It's not their circumstances. It's their mindset. The elephant and the blind men. There's an old story about three blind men who were asked to describe an elephant. The first man touched the tail and said, "An elephant is like a rope." The second man touched the leg and said, "No, an elephant is like a pillar." The third man touched the trunk and said, "You're both wrong. An elephant is like a thick snake." Each of them was experiencing the same elephant, yet their descriptions were completely different. That's how we experience life. We don't see things as they truly are. We see them through our own limited perspective. And sometimes, we choose a perspective that makes us suffer. How our inner state creates our outer experience in psychology. There's a concept called projection. It means that what we hold inside, we see outside. If we are full of fear, we see a world that is dangerous. If we are full of insecurity, we assume people are judging us. If we are full of anger, we feel like the world is against us. But if we are full of love, we see kindness in people. If we are full of gratitude, we see abundance everywhere. If we're full of peace, even chaos doesn't shake us. Let's take an example. Imagine two employees working in the same company. The first one believes his boss doesn't appreciate him. He thinks his colleagues are selfish and his job is exhausting. Every day feels like a struggle. The second employee in the same position sees his job as a way to grow. He trusts that his hard work will pay off, and he enjoys collaborating with his colleagues. Same workplace, same circumstances, but two completely different experiences because of their mindset. This is proof that the world we experience is not just about what happens to us. It's about how we choose to see it. The power of shifting your perspective if you want to change your life. You don't need to change the whole world. You just need to change how you see it. Instead of looking for problems, look for possibilities. Instead of blaming others, take responsibility for your own happiness. Instead of seeing life as a struggle, see it as an opportunity to grow. When your inner world is peaceful, your outer world feels less chaotic. When your inner world is full of gratitude, life feels more abundant. When your inner world is filled with love, the world itself seems more beautiful. Because in the end, the world is not just as it is. The world is as we choose to see it. Real-world examples of inner transformation. Let's look at two real-life examples of how inner transformation changes everything. 1. The man who hated his job There was once a man who hated his job. He felt undervalued. His boss never praised him. His colleagues were competitive. Every morning, he woke up dreading work. One day, instead of quitting, he decided to change himself. He asked himself, how can I make this job more meaningful? Instead of waiting for appreciation, he started taking pride in his work. Instead of avoiding his colleagues, he started helping them. A few months later, something interesting happened. His boss started noticing him. His colleagues became friendlier. He even got promoted. What changed? Not his job, not his boss, not his colleagues. He changed his perspective, his attitude, his energy, and when he changed, the world around him responded. 2. The mother who was always arguing with her son, a mother was struggling with her teenage son. He was rebellious, always arguing, and didn't listen to her. She tried everything, discipline, strict rules, even yelling, but nothing worked. One day, she decided to change herself instead. Instead of arguing, she started listening. Instead of controlling, she tried understanding. Instead of reacting with frustration, she responded with patience. And over time, her son began to open up. Not because he changed first, but because she changed the way she treated him. This is how powerful inner transformation is. When you change, the world around you changes. Practical ways to change your inner world. So, how can we start shifting our perspective and transforming our inner world? Here are 3 simple practices. 1. Practice gratitude every morning. Think of 3 things you're grateful for. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already abundant in your life. 2. Let go of what you can't control. We waste so much energy trying to control things we can't. Instead, focus on what you can control: your thoughts, your actions, your reactions. 3. Stay present. Most suffering comes from being stuck in the past or worrying about the future. Train yourself to live in the now, because that's where life is happening. Final thoughts. Change starts from within. We often think that to change our lives, we need to change everything around us: our job, our partner, our city. But if we don't change ourselves, the same problems will follow us everywhere. Because the real source of our happiness or suffering is not outside. It's within us. When we shift our mindset, when we choose to see the world with clarity, kindness, and wisdom, everything around us starts to change too. So, if you want a better world, start with yourself. Because when you change your inner world, the whole world changes with you.